Hi YouTube, this is a free extract from my larger Excel bootcamp course that you can find on my website at bringyourownlaptop.com. All right, in this video, we're going to look at exporting this chart to lots of different places. We'll look at, what do we got? We've got Word. Okay, we're going to stick it in PowerPoint. We're going to also put it into Adobe Illustrator and change the colors and make it vector and editable. And the same thing for InDesign, if I can find it, InDesign. Okay, we'll also, where he is, make a PDF version that we can share and all sorts of other things that we might need it to go. All right, let's get exporting charts. Okay, so we'll start with putting it into other Microsoft products. It's really easy. You click on the edge of your chart, okay, and you use your copy, okay, or Control C, and then jump to the product you want to put it into. Let's jump to Word first. And if you use your shortcut, Control V, it goes in. Per return in. There's another way of putting it in. Okay, up the top here where it says under Home, under Paste, this little drop down. There's pretty much two options. You can kind of see at the end of that, use destination theme. Embed Workbook is the important one. The next one is very similar. It says Embed Workbook. This one here says Link Data. Okay, and the next one says link data. So you've got two options. Linking data is what happened to this first one. Okay, if you just use your shortcut to Control V, it's going to link the data. So it just means it's still connected to Excel. So if you make changes in Excel, it's going to adjust in here. And that can be useful sometimes. Sometimes though, you just want it to kind of like be detached and not connected to Excel, and use the one that says embedded. So I could use this first one here and says embedded. It looks the exact same in PowerPoint, no difference. So let's switch over to PowerPoint. Again, I'm in PowerPoint and I can just use Control V for one option. Okay, I can drag it a little bit smaller. You can see a lot of the same features appear here from Excel. So it doesn't really matter whether you want to add chart elements in Excel or do it in here. Okay, so I've got this option. Then I'm going to go to the one that says embed, because by default it links, and I'm going to use this one here that embeds it. Okay. So I've got two options here. Let's check out what happens when I change them in Excel. So in Excel, let's make a big change. This guy here, the Paw Patrol sales, let's say that they were mistaken, okay? We want to go through and it was only 6 rather than the thousands that we had in there. You can see it's changed in here, and let's jump into Word. You can see the one that we pasted that's linked has adjusted automatically, but the one that we embedded hasn't. Same in PowerPoint. You can see in here the one that's linked, the one that's embedded. So it's really easy to go between Microsoft products, obviously. Next, we'll look at getting stuff into, say, some other desktop publishing documents. And we're going to look at Illustrator and InDesign by Adobe. So the technique is very similar. Okay, so I'm in Excel. I'm going to click on my graph. I'm going to hit Control C or hit this copy button. Then I'm going to jump into, let's say, Illustrator first. So if you've never used Illustrator, it's just a desktop publishing program or a graphic design program. You can use it for lots of things. And all I'm going to do is just paste in here. So Control V or Edit Paste. Okay, and the cool thing about it is that it's still kind of editable and it's still what's called vector, so it's scalable. So in Illustrator, I'm going to hold Shift, grab the corner here, okay, and I can scale it up. So if you're an Illustrator user, this is going to be useful. If you're not, just ignore the rest of this video and skip on to the next one. But if you are an Illustrator user, you can select on these bits and you can see they're kind of all grouped together. Right-click them and group it, and they're actually bits. They're a little bit hard to play with because there's kind of bits all over the place. Delete you, and there's that bit there. So it's not perfect and not fully editable like it is, and when you're going through to other Microsoft products, but still pretty cool. What you can do is grab the say the white arrow here and click on say these columns here, and you can go through and decide that actually I'm going to use one of my colors. Okay, and you can change these colors here in Illustrator. Very similar if you want to do it in InDesign. So jump into InDesign. So in InDesign, the same, Control V or Edit Paste. It's slightly different. What you'll notice is that it's still vector and scalable, which is really nice. So I can scale this up hold Control and Shift in InDesign, scale it up nice and big, and you can still see it's vector. You might be seeing it a little bit blurry. You can go to View and say Display Performance and make sure it's set to high quality and it'll look nice. Okay, you can scale it really big. The only trouble is you can't do the adjustments like we could in Illustrator. Okay, so we can't go through and like, oh, I want to change this to my corporate color pink. Okay, so it's all kind of fused. So ways around that, it's pretty easy. You can go into Illustrator. You could make your changes in here, then copy and paste from Illustrator into InDesign. Even better, you can just have Illustrator open. Say you want to go straight from Excel to InDesign, but you want that control. So all you do is you paste in here, okay? Then you just copy this version that's ended up in here and copy this into InDesign. I paste it in there. So I can select on it, I can right click and go to ungroup. Okay, and you can start to see, I'm starting to get the little bits and pieces like I did for Illustrator. Okay, they're a little bit hard to work with, but you can start adjusting them. Same thing with the white arrow in here now. Okay, I can click on these guys. Where are you guys? These guys here. And I can start adjusting, not him. Yeah, super easy to work with then. So I can select on this and pick a new fill color. Okay, so there is ways of making it vector and adjustable in InDesign. Okay, you just got to copy and paste it into Illustrator and then copy that into InDesign. One last thing we'll look at is say you just want just a file format. You don't want to copy them straight into here. You just want like a PDF to go into other products. Okay, it might not be some of these Adobe ones. It might be something completely different. The easiest format to do that is a PDF. So let's go and do that. So in Excel, what you need to do, and pretty much the only thing you need to do, is actually have your chart selected, the one you want to export. If you've got lots of charts, just pick the one you want and then go to File, go down to Export, okay, and click Create PDF. Great. And in here, okay, there's actually, it's by default it's going to work, but you can go check in here in the options and it says selected chart, but that's by default what it's going to do, okay? And give it a name and save it and you've got a PDF. So I'm going to have my profit chart, profit even, and this is going to be my 2018 one. Hit publish, and now I've got a PDF that I could use. It's scalable, it's vector. Yeah, I can use it in lots of different things now, other than the Microsoft and Adobe world. All right, I hope that's helpful. Let's move on to the next video. Hey, did you enjoy it? If you did, please click subscribe or like, click the little alert bell as well. All of these things really help me as a business. Also, if you want the full course, check out the Excel Bootcamp on bringyourownlaptop.com. There's that course plus many others. All right, bye now.